So hi and welcome to the Business Made Easy Blab Show. I'm your host Fiona Hall, and this is my co-host over here. I'm not sure where she appears on the box because for me she's over on the side of me. This is Liz Fry from lizfry.com. She is the ultimate connector and collaborator. And then below me on my screen, I don't know where you're sitting on your screen, Sarah, is Sarah Thompson from More Money Mentoring. So hi Sarah, nice to have you. So the purpose of the show really is an education show really at the core. It's a place to share information and help those of you who are in a small business who are struggling with the demands of all those hats that you wear. Because we often start business because we have a passion for what we do, but we might not necessarily, and most probably do not have all of the skills we need to run a successful business. So I love finding out information and I love sharing it with people. So that's the purpose of the show. So if you want to learn something, you're in the right place today. And welcome to all our viewers and listeners. So each week, Liz and I interview an industry expert. So someone I've got to know, I've met, I've maybe even used their services myself. I've been in business since 2003, so I've got to meet some fantastic business owners, and they've really helped me when I've reached out for help to get me past stumbling blocks that I've had, gaps in knowledge that I don't have. Hey Deb, nice to have you here. And hi Susan, nice to have you here as well. So if you are wanting to kind of join a community that gives you support in these areas and have touch base with the experts, I invite you to click on the link over here I've just posted. This is our private Facebook community for the Business Made Easy listeners. We share stuff. You'll find out notifications of the upcoming shows, and I'll post updates and reviews from each show so you get a bit more information, and there's lots of tips and nuggets popped in there to make your life easier. So that's the intro. So I'm Fiona Hall, as I said, and my business name is Kiffin, and I am a systems sorter. I like to find the simple way to do things, the easy way to do things, because I think if it's too hard, then I'm doing it wrong, and there's probably some really clever person out there who knows how to do it easier than me, and I'll go find it, and I'll go learn it, and now I'm going to share it here. So yeah, that's me, and then over here on my screen anyway is Liz Fry, and Liz Fry is the ultimate connector, as I mentioned before, for those of us who are on earlier. And Liz is a networking queen. She knows how to connect people. She is really amazing at showcasing people's strengths, and I love her connecting, the way that she connects with people, her passion for life, and the two of us. The reason we started this show is when I was looking for a co-host, I was looking for someone who had a similar vision or mission for the year, and we both came up with the word freedom as one of our key goals for the year. So it was a natural affinity when we started talking. So Liz, I'm going to just do a quick recap from last week about MailChimp for those of you who listened in. If not, you can go back and listen to past episodes. We had Lindsay Carroll from Outbox, and Lindsay gave me a bit of homework, which I have to admit I haven't done, but it is on my to-do list. I might have to outsource it to her, I think about it really. But there was two key things that stuck in my mind I just wanted to go over again. One was the permission that you need to contact people. Don't go scalping lists from other people or taking business cards from events and just plugging them in and automatically sending people your newsletters or contact details. There's a whole bunch of privacy issues around that. You will not gain clients from doing that. You'll just piss people off, honestly. So just think about the people really want to contact you, hear from you. And then the content that you're creating, content is king in anything, but the content in your newsletter, what she reminded me of and made me think about is make sure there's something unique and different in that newsletter that you're sending that's special to that list, that's not available anywhere else through your Facebook or your website or any other ways that people can find out about you. Make sure there's something unique there. So that's my little recap from last week for those of you who went there. So our next part of our show is I give a nugget and Liz gives a nugget. So this week I'm going to follow on from last week when I talked about having an organizational chart, which for some people I know was a bit overwhelming to think about. It's all about thinking about business growth. As your business expands, you make more money and you need to include more people in your business, whether you're going to be doing outsourcing or using contractors or taking a team on, you need to make sure that you know what needs to be done and who's going to be doing what. So I recommend looking at having what I call a roles and responsibilities table, and it can be quite simple. So the role or title that you might have in the organizational chart, you pop that in there in the first column, the name of the person and probably the contact details as well. And then what do you contact them for? So this is really, really valuable when you're doing an induction, for example, when you're taking people in. But also really, really, really important if you're outsourcing to someone, so they know specifically what they're going to be contacted for. So think about that as your business is growing. At the moment, it could be just you and the cat. But hopefully as business gets on, it's going to be you and a team of people growing your business. So think about that, creating that list of who to contact with your team, if you have a team in existence at the moment. So if you do have a VA that you're using, virtual assistant, make sure you list exactly what they're accountable for. So there's it's quite clear between the two of you in terms of the expectations. So that's my nugget for today. Write it down, keep a record of it, and then share it with your team and get confirmation that you're both on the same page is probably the key thing there.
I would just like to say something. Yeah. My cat is not very productive.
Neither's mine. They're quite distracting, aren't they?
You need to have another meeting.
He likes to sit on my keyboard, and since he's 20 pounds, which is really big, it like takes up the whole keyboard, so I can't get anything done. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Liz, I'm going to hand over to you for a quick intro and your nugget for today.
Thanks, Fiona. Great to be here again. I'm on my phone because my laptop was playing up, so we'll just see how we go. Cool. I might not be able to do the column thing. We'll see.
That's fine.
So I'm Liz Fry of lizfry.com. And a lot of what I do is networking, but I also bring vibrant energy into life and business. So that is through my health and vitality business, can really help people, help the tired, help the weary, re-energize their lives. And then also, reignite the passion for their business and refuel that as well through the networking, the small group mastermind and one-on-one support. And so today I want to talk about referrals and testimonials. Mainly like the testimonial side. So obviously a lot of people rely on word of mouth these days, especially with social media. Often in groups it's, do you know a good accountant, do you know a good plumber? The list just goes on and on. People are relying on word of mouth a lot more than checking out websites, and certainly directory pages are going to be a thing of the past. So yes, testimonials. All I can say is just please give them out left, right and centre. If you've received good service, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be from someone that you've been working with, photographer. I had the most amazing massage yesterday and was straight on the group, on her page rather, doing a review. It's huge and it just has so much scope, and if nothing else, it's nice. It's nice to receive something and you're giving something back. So testimonials is my big nugget of today. Give them out left, right and centre where they're deserved, please. Yeah,
I heartily agree. Testimonials are really the way that people feel come away from working with you. Is so important for people to get a snapshot of what it's going to be like for them to try and work with you as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So get a real idea. Yeah.
Very nice. So if you want to connect with Liz, you can go across to lizfry.com, liz/fry.com. If you want to connect with me, you can come across to Facebook to Kiffin, KIFFINZ. I'll put the links below if you want to connect with us afterwards. We love to help. Both of us are natural helpers. We love solving problems. So if you've got a challenge in those areas of systems and creating knowledge and capturing things and thinking about how you can network better, then come and join us. We'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to intro our fabulous guest, Sarah Thompson. So I met Sarah, is it 6 months ago now? Is it that long? Or is it
I don't know, keep track of time. I need someone like you to keep track of time for me.
Well done. So we met through a small mastermind group, which has been invaluable. Like there's a 4 of us women, and we meet regularly, and we support each other with our challenges in business. And we've all got different skill sets, so we can all support each other in different ways. And we've all got different ways of viewing the world. So when we have challenges, we all come at from a completely different perspective, which adds a real richness to the way that you contemplate and look at solving problems. So just as an aside, I highly recommend seeking out and having that kind of relationship with somebody that you know you can trust in a private forum to help you progress. Because as a business owner who's leading your business, often it's a lonely job at the top, and if you're not accountable to someone, things really slide. So Sarah Thompson has over 20 glorious years working with money and finances. She's come from a corporate background with things like financial modeling, and I'm like, okay, how does that work? My brain went fuzzy there. Corporate finance, operations, human resource management, and she's walked across multiple industries, some of them that apparently I find it really hard to pronounce, and I wouldn't be surprised about that. But she is the expert in what the heck you should be doing to grow your business, especially around the numbers and the money. And I know for me, that's not my strength. And I was quite excited when I thought, who can I get to talk to us about cash flow and numbers? And I knew Sarah was the go-to person I'd be calling on. She's really I've been really fascinated, like thinking about how I changed from a service to product-based type business, and just talking through ideas with her. She's really cut through quite quickly to get to the answer, which is fantastic. And she doesn't bamboozle me with big words too, or phrases and terms and theories that I have no idea about. She's done all that for me, so I can just get to the quick answer, which I love. She's fantastic. She's got the credentials behind her. She's got an MBA from the University of Massachusetts and a BA in political science and international affairs from the University of New Hampshire. So as you can guess, she's from the US, and she's from a very small little town in, what's the name of your town, Sarah?
It's Amherst, Massachusetts. It's about 2 hours west of Boston.
There we go. So I'm going to hand over to Sarah Thompson now from More Money Mentoring. I'll make sure I put the link over here so you can contact her and have a look at what she provides. If you think you might need a bit more help in your business with your money, she is definitely the person I'd recommend having a chat to. So welcome to our Blab Show, Sarah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my first tip, which is a Blab tip, which is in your profile, put the link to your website landing page.
Nice.
So then when you're on a show, somebody doesn't have to type it in. They can just look. Like you see where my landing page or my opt-in is right there in my profile. So add that, that's the most important piece of real estate that you have. So add that into profile. So then you don't have, because like if somebody joins midway, and you've already announced it, or the chat has already gone by, they can always look at your profile.
Fabulous. Great tip.
That's my Blab tip. My business cash flow tip, number one, simple terms, get paid in advance.
Great. Of course. Would you have a percentage of what that is, or all of it?
It depends on the industry you're in. Like if you're in the website building industry, for the most part, you get a deposit and then you get progress payments. That's just standard for that industry, right?
Yeah.
If you're in the coaching industry, you can get paid in advance. So it just depends on where you're operating. But keep in mind, you are not Walmart. You cannot afford to cover someone else's cash. You can't. So stop thinking that way, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to say, hey, I'm a small business. I can't take that risk. I get paid in advance.
Nice work.
Because what if you do all this work and then you don't get paid? How are you going to absorb that as a solopreneur or even as a business with, under 5 or 10 employees? You can't absorb it, right? Because you're putting money out, you're putting time out, and then you don't get paid or it's delayed.
Yeah.
I call it the walking to the mailbox syndrome, where you go to the mailbox and you open it up and nothing's there. And then you go the next day and you open the mailbox and nothing's still there. Or sometimes it's in your email, right? You're checking, did the PayPal, refresh? No, still not there. Refresh? No, still not there, right? You should not be in that situation. That is a design flaw of your business.
Cool. And so that obviously in expectation settings, when you're meeting with clients and stuff, you need to have some, clause or, way of talking about that when you introduce that.
Yep. Yeah. And usually the way that I talk about it is I get paid in advance. And if somebody argues with that, I'll say, well, you understand, I'm a solopreneur, I'm a one-person business. I can't absorb that risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do your sessions work, Sarah? Do you do like regular sessions or courses or workshops?
I do a combination of things. So I have group courses. I have one-on-one individual coaching. I also have consulting work I do that's on a retainer. So I get paid at the beginning of every month. Like I have multiple different formats of offers that I make. All of them I get paid in advance. Or if somebody does a payment plan, say if they're in a 12-week program and they pay at the beginning of every month, for 3 months, that's okay too, because ultimately I'm getting paid the money before they're getting my time or that content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to check how that worked for different scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's highly dependent on the industry you're in. Like I said, there are certain industries that, okay, I have a client that is a general contractor in New York City. You cannot get paid in advance for a $10 million building, period. You're not going to. You get paid progress payments. You get paid a deposit and progress payments. Yeah. That's the industry. It's standard for that industry. It's no different than pretty much anything around the construction industry. Architects, they don't get 100%. Yeah. They have to get a deposit. They do some work. Then, at the end of the project, they get their final payment.
Sure.
But if you're not in one of those industries, don't pretend that you're the size of, Apple or Walmart and you can absorb that. No, it's in your best interest to actually, people think I got to make my company seem super big. No, when you're negotiating terms, you want to make your company super small.
That's a really good point, Sarah. Yeah, because there is this, especially when you're starting out, I remember falling into the trap of saying, oh, we, and it was just me.
I got a 1-800 number because I thought that would make me seem like a more like a bigger, more legit company. It was no one ever called the 1-800 number. It was a complete waste. But it was all trying to make it seem more legit. Now there are things that you do have to do to be legit, like don't have an email address because that's not legit.
Yeah.
But you don't have to pretend like you have a staff of 10 when it's you and your cat.
Yeah.
No.
I think this might turn into the Crazy Cat Lady show pretty soon.
That would be me.
I'm out of here.
I only have 2, so I don't qualify as crazy.
Yeah, I've got 2. Liz, do you have a cat? No. Oh, you're right. Liz is okay.
My Crazy Cat Lady has the cat set of children. So I have both. So I don't think I can.
I have neither, so I'm great.
So cash flow management, the first rule of cash flow management, right, is it's all about timing. And timing is you get paid in advance.
Yep.
Managing cash is about when the money comes in. It's not about how much profit you're making. Obviously, the profit helps.
Yeah.
The more profit, the more money that's coming in that you're able to keep, right?
Yeah.
But the actual, when people talk about cash flow forecasting, planning, business model planning, right? It's all about when the money comes in and when it goes out.
Awesome.
So that brings me to my second tip, which is focus all of your energy in your financial plan on getting 1 month ahead. So that means you're paying this month's bills with last month's money. The reason for that is it eliminates the timing issue. The issue of when the money comes out in versus when it needs to go out. The stress of you don't realize how much that stress creates in you of not knowing exactly when the money is going to come in and when it needs to go out. So when you have your own business, having that freedom of having 1 month ahead is more important than any other thing when you're first, getting into a sort of financial flow and getting your stuff together.
Yeah.
Because that will, okay, here's the thing. Most of us that have our own business are super creative, right? Yes. In order to have a business, by nature, you have a level of creativity. I can't draw a stick figure, but right? So I don't have artistic creativity, but I have creativity, right? So if you are under enormous stress, you can't be creative.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It actually inhibits your ability to be creative when you're stressed out. So think about how much less stress you would have if you were a month ahead.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Right? You're not worrying about, oh my God, this check is coming in on the 15th and this thing is due on the 18th. Yeah, I mean, some people can be creative under stress, but it's rare. I mean, and ultimately it limits your creativity, Walter. I mean, there are exceptions to every rule. I know for me, if I am under like extreme stress, it's paralyzed.
Yeah. Ultimately. Yeah, our brains can only handle so much, and then it triggers the fight or flight response, and then we either want to hide under the bed or run away very fast.
Right.
So there's a fine level. There's a motivational the level where it does motivate you, Walter, definitely, but there's a level where it's actually crushing and it stops all ability to solve problems and move forward. So that's the key message, isn't it, Sarah, really?
Yeah, and ultimately it's removing that, I consider it self-inflicted financial stress. There's no need for it. If you put aside a little bit of money every month towards building a buffer, eventually, obviously if you're operating at a deficit in your business, then that's a different story. But if you're able to put aside a little bit of money every month towards that 1 month buffer, figure out what your business and personal expenses are for 1 month, put aside that, and then you pay the bills with last month's money.
Yeah. That's a great tip. Yeah. I hadn't thought of it like that, but I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's not like most people can't do it in 1 month. It takes a little time to build up that buffer, and once you do it, it just changes the way that you operate around money. It's not like, oh shit, the electric bill's due, the electricity. I mean, there's all these things. Oh my God, the electricity is gonna be turned off. That's a whole nother level of stress. Oh my God. I mean, the credit card's due. I have to get the money in today or it's gonna be late.
Yeah. So when you're talking about
late, it doesn't mean perpetually late. It's just that you're always thinking about the timing.
Yeah, yeah, and money is worldwide for most people is the number one stress, is like how we're going to pay the bills, is probably what leading cause of challenges in relationships, whether they be your partner or your intimate partner, or whether it be your business partner. It can cause the number one thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were talking about the business expenses, so you're talking about the operating expenses, so the money that you need to keep the doors open, is that what you're talking about, really?
Yeah, I'm talking about, so if you're going to have a 1 month buffer and you have your own business, it needs to cover your monthly business expenses, your reoccurring expenses, and your personal expenses.
Yeah.
So you don't need it to cover any, a bunch of extras necessarily, but you need it to cover, your mortgage. If you have business rent, your business rent, right? Most people that, have an online based business, their monthly expenses for their business are not that high, right? But they still come out. It's still, your cell phone or your web hosting, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Right? You want to have that buffer.
Totally.
Like it.
Yeah, nice. It's nice and simple, but it just gives clarity. So, do you just sit down with a spreadsheet and work that out and have the totals and just know that this is my minimum sales target for the month, or how do you look at that for your cash flow? Tell me more.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of things. One is I have a budget category list. So I look at your budgeting process as what I call a real budget. And the reason it's real is two factors. One is that it accounts for irregular expenses.
Okay.
But Christmas is not a surprise.
And birthdays and...
Right, but okay, Christmas. You're going to spend money on Christmas. It happens the same day every year.
Yeah.
So part of having a real budget is acknowledging that you're going to spend whatever it is, say it's $1,000, and you're going to put money aside each month towards that.
Yeah.
And that goes into a savings account and you keep track of it. I recommend people use this free app called Every Dollar.
Okay.
And basically what it does is it allows you to have a checking account savings, and have checking and savings for personal and checking and savings for business. And then within that, you can keep track of the balance in the particular category. So for example, if you have, if your budget for Christmas is $1,000 and, come October, you see a great gift and you want to buy it for someone, and you have $800 in there, and you buy this $100 thing, it'll deduct it from that category. So, you have $700 left, right?
Ooh, I like that. I like it a lot. That's a really good idea. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be finding that app straight after the show.
It's really good because then okay, this is designated for this particular thing. Like I tell people, like car repairs, you need to put money aside for car repairs every month. Yeah. Why? Because your car will break down.
Yeah.
It will.
It needs maintenance. It needs a warrant of fitness. It needs,
So acknowledge that exists. Acknowledge that if you have 2 cats, they're going to have to go to the vet.
Yeah.
And then it's not a big surprise. You've had that money set aside. I had 3 car repairs happen in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Right. And normally I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was sitting in a savings account for car repairs. I just moved it over. So the only stress was like having to get my cars to the shop and get rides. But not money. Money wasn't stressful at all.
Nice. Very nice. I like that. That's very cool.
So
I'm thinking about the business category. So obviously Christmas gifts for clients and that kind of stuff, having that set aside as well.
Exactly. Or a big one that people don't plan for is a new computer.
Yeah, right? Funny you say that because I'm this close to thinking. I'm sure it's 3 years now. It's about the average time I can make my computer.
If it's normally 3 years, then after you get the new one, start putting aside a little bit, spread it out over 3 years, and then in 3 years, the money will be there.
Yeah, now that's, I like that a lot. Got you, Liz?
Yeah, sounds awesome. So so the app just keeps a record of it, and then you just have all the money still in your saving, like your personal savings account or business savings account. Is that how it works? Yeah. Cool.
I only have, ultimately, I mean, like my kid has an account and all that, but like for me, I have 4 accounts.
Yeah.
That's it. I only have 4 accounts, but I have it segregated into what the money's for.
Cool.
So I can always tell what I have saved for a particular thing.
That is wonderful. I really like that idea. What a great idea. That just makes a lot more sense.
The app I'm talking about, Jill, is called Every Dollar. It's a free app and it tracks your categories of money. So if you're putting money aside every month, as you should be for your irregular things, then it tells you what's left in there in that category. And then when you spend, the nice thing about it too that I find is that it's shareable with a spouse.
Now that's what I want.
So they can also look, and it's the same info. So if they look and see that there's only, $50 left in the going out to eat account or whatever it is, right?
Don't talk about that.
So you share the information and then you're both on the same page and it's current, right?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Right? It eliminates a bunch of arguments because what you do is you agree on things ahead of time. And then you just try
budget, Sarah, what's that? How healthy does that get?
How what?
How healthy does the shoe budget get?
Oh, well, that's up to you. I mean, that's a negotiation point, right?
It sure is. Yeah. So, I like that idea. It creates a lot of transparency around money. Hi, Jill. Nice to have you here. Jill is a money coach from New Zealand. She's all about people's relationship to money.
Yeah, well, you'll like that app, Jill. You'll be. Oh, it's not available for UK, huh?
Oh.
You can do it in Mint, which isn't as good, but it still functions.
What was that, Sarah? I didn't catch
Mint,
the name.
MINT.
Okay.
There's an app called Mint. So if you can't find Every Dollar. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I thought it would be available just in the iPhone apps, but maybe not.
It must be one of those ones that's US based only, maybe.
Yeah, maybe because it's in dollars. I don't know.
US.
I mean, I guess even a simple spreadsheet could work. You could set that up, couldn't you? Just with a formula.
You can. It's harder to keep track of because you're having to put the inputs and the outputs because you're spending from those categories all the time, right? And you should be putting money in at least once a month, right, into those categories. So it makes it hard with a spreadsheet. This makes it simple because everything's categorized.
Yeah.
So that's the first aspect of a real budget. The second aspect of a real budget is that it's realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever gone on a crash diet? Like, you remember they had the grapefruit diet?
Oh, yeah.
I never did it, but
not pleasant.
You eat grapefruit, right? Well, how long did it take you to get completely sick of grapefruit? How long? You never wanted to eat another grapefruit again, right?
Yeah.
So we have this idea that the word budget means restrictive, and that's actually exactly opposite. The word budget actually allows you freedom because you know where every dollar is going, and you have the freedom to spend your money on the things you prioritize, right? So if, for example, you spend $800 a month on groceries and you make a budget that says that you're going to spend $300, you're not going to stick to it. It's not reasonable.
No.
Right? So you need to look at what you've been spending in the different categories over, say, the past 6 or 12 months, and then start there. Like, start at $800 if that's what you've been spending. I started at $800 and I got my grocery bill down to $320.
Wow.
But it took time because, I had to do a bunch of things. Like, I learned about meal planning. I never did a meal plan before in my life, right?
Yeah.
So I learned that. And then I learned, like, when I meal plan, I should meal plan 7 dinners a week because we go out one day and I can get an invite from my mother the other day. So, and then one day we have leftovers. So I really only need to buy for 4 nights, right? Those were all things I had to learn over time and adjust a little bit till I got used to it, right?
Yeah.
So going to different stores, I had to get used to, like, okay, I'm not going to go to an expensive store. I'm going to go to this store, or I might go to 4 stores to get the best prices. These are all things I had to like tweak and learn over time. If I went from 800 to 320, I wouldn't have stuck with it. I would have been like, this sucks. Screw this. Yeah. But since I made small changes, it's like, okay, it's like, I'm going to go from full fat milk to 2% to 1% to fat free, right? Like you sort of like, it's no different than a diet. If you go too strict, you won't stick with it. And
it's a really good point. Very good point.
And the thing about the real budget is it has to be livable or you will not do it. More people say they're going to budget and they don't do it. Why? Because they think of a budget as, I call it squeezing all joy from your life. It's not supposed to be squeezing all joy. In fact, you should budget for joy. You know, in my budget, I have money for date night. I have money for vacations. I have money for, we call it like fun money. So we each get a certain amount of money every week that we don't have to account for it. We just get it. So like, I'm a huge coffee drinker. So I probably spend all of that on coffee, going out for coffee.
Same,
all his on like convenience store candy. I think that's totally stupid. And he thinks the coffee thing is totally stupid, but it doesn't matter because it's our free money to spend and there's no questions about it. Why did you go to the convenience store? It's like, no, you know what? You have the money, go do whatever you want. If you want to waste it on candy at the convenience store, fine. And he's like, if you want to waste all your money on coffee, fine.
Yeah.
Right. So that's something that you budget for too, because like imagine saying, I will not spend any money on anything fun. I'm going to torture myself.
Yeah. It's not going to last.
Who's going to do that? Nobody. You last a month and you'll be like, this is horrible. I'm never doing this again.
Cool. Hey, Sarah, when it comes back to your like business budgeting and cash flow, obviously you probably started out with something. And what did you notice changed kind of the most for you when you started out, budgeting for your business? Was there any particular areas that you noticed you probably spend more in than what you thought you would?
No, I mean, my spend is pretty low, especially now. I mean, I had an office for a while because I was living in a tiny apartment, and now I bought a house, so I work from home. So, no, I mean, I would say maybe my expenses I have to push to make them run over 10%.
Yeah, that's great.
Sometimes it might be up to 20 if I'm doing a lot of ads and stuff, but that's really the variable ultimately. It just doesn't cost a lot to run a service-based internet business from your home.
Yeah.
That's true. The cost of running business has come down a lot, hasn't it? Like I was thinking about yesterday, I was going to meet a client. We've already met face to face, and I was going to have a meeting with him, and it was going to take me 3/4 an hour to drive there and 3/4 an hour to drive back. And I said, let's just Skype instead. And I was just like thinking, I often do that, but I don't know why I thought I'd already met him face to face, so we already had the relationship built, which I think is important to do. Yeah. But I noticed, the amount of time and money it saved me by not having, that extra travel time was huge.
Yeah, I have clients. I have one client that I've done several projects for over the 4 years time, and I've never met them in person.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a different world. And this allows you to have practically a in-person meeting, right? So you don't need to have in-person meetings. That's why you can now work from anywhere.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
From anywhere.
Cool.
And you can work with whoever you want. You don't have to work with the person who lives down the street. You can work with people in New Zealand when you're in the United States.
That's exactly it. We've got covering lots of areas of the globe. We've got the UK, we've got the US, and we've got little old New Zealand down the bottom today.
and it's just a different world today. And this idea that you need to have a ton of money to even start a business, it's just not that way anymore.
Yeah,
that's a really cool point. Start a business on very little money.
Yeah, get it underway.
It's a different scenario. Now, people that have inventory, that have a storefront, I mean, that's a whole different business model, different scenario. So you have a colleague that's like starting a store and she has a web-based business, and it was like, why? Like, you're going to have rent, you're going to have inventory, like it's a whole different business model.
Yeah. It's a costly exercise to do that. Yeah, especially with the advent of bye Joel, nice to see you. Especially with the advent of online shopping. I mean, it's
right.
I was listening to a quote the other day. I can't remember who it was from. It was some American businessman. They're talking about big business people who'd made these predictions about the future, and one of them was online shopping or remote shopping will never take off.
Yeah, people need
a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Hey, you've given us some great tips, and you've expanded mine. Definitely given me some things to think about. Like the paid in advance. I agree. I do a 30% deposit before I start. Open a file for a new client. So and then I do kind of incremental payments and stuff. But yeah, paid in advance for work. So I think all of our listeners, let us know if that's something that you're doing. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that right now.
And if you take a deposit, for example, if your standard is 30%, if you're able to even eke up the deposit percentage a little bit, could you take 40%? Could you change it to 40? And what would that do? Could you change it to 50? Could you have the payments, instead of being project milestone based, have it be date based, right?
Yeah, weekly payments, yeah.
Right, because one of the issues when I was doing business plans, right, was that I could have all my ducks in a row and like have it totally figured out, but a lot of it was waiting for client input. So if it was a milestone based payment, I'm waiting for the stuff. I can't get the money. Like, I can't do the next thing unless they give me the info, right? So I'm like, they could drag it out. So then I was like, no. I'm going to have like a monthly payment or whatever, whatever works for you. But if you can have it be a date or time-based payment instead of, and maybe the last payment is like upon approval of the project and sign off, but the interim ones are on a date, not on a percent completion. And then how do you even evaluate percent completion? It's really hard.
It is really hard. That's a really good point. I've my client who's signed up to a package of mine, she pays a weekly payment, and that's just the standard.
Yeah, and it's monthly. I mean, you figure it out, whatever works. Partly it's what does your industry do, and like where you're or in an industry that doesn't have a lot of other people doing the same thing, you can pretty much set your own terms. If you want it to be 50% deposit, just make it 50%. That's what I require.
Yeah. And then the other point that you talked about was that, having that cash flow sorted so that your bills are paid a month and ahead. I think that's a great way of just reducing that stress and the risk for that kind of panic feeling, which can really, creep up sometimes if you've had a bit of a lag and you've had a bit of a short, not as many clients as you've needed to reach targets. It's nice to have that buffer in there to really, take the stress load off. That's something I definitely haven't thought about. It's probably there, but I haven't really gone and actually done the numbers on it. So that's definitely a homework for me to review. And I love the budgeting categories idea and having that, allocating things so you know what's coming out of which budget and specifically your business, rather than having a pool. And for example, I'm redoing my website at the moment and thinking, okay, so I need to build up a pool of it. But yeah.
Right. And you should know, like, okay, I'm probably going to redo my website once every 2 or 3 years. Once I'm through this one, which I didn't have set aside, I should just put a little bit aside for that, because it's going to happen. It's just part of business.
Yeah, it is. It's having that update and the plan in place, isn't it?
Even like clothes are a perfect example, right? You don't buy clothes every month. but you might buy like spring clothes and fall clothes. So, you know, put a little bit aside every month. It's like so much less painful to have, you know, $30 a month going into an account than to all of a sudden be like, oh my God, I $300.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You don't notice $30. You notice 300 or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Right? Definitely sure do. And the last one,
I mean, the main thing here is to make your business so that it's bringing in enough money so you can fund all these, right? Because I mean, talking about it is wonderful, but in reality, you have to have enough money to put in those.
And that's another whole show in itself, really.
But see, what happens is if you don't have that real budget, you deceive yourself into thinking, oh yeah, I'm covering everything. Well, no, you're not, because your car's going to break down in 6 months. You're not covering it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Oh, so someone says that the industry standard is 100% up front. Yeah. Resume shops. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, anything like that is going to be.
Yeah. And then Jonathan, he does 100% charge rate for graphics and print, web development, depending on the product, about 60%. That makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
The realistic budget was the other thing too. Is like, I really like the way that you're forward planning everything and looking at cycles, because that is the key thing too. So it doesn't become this big surprise, even though it's not really a surprise. You kind of know these things are going to happen. But there is a bit of like crossing fingers that the car won't break down this month, or
Well, that's why I always use Christmas as the example, because that's an easy one for people to grasp, because it's not like you're going to come to Christmas and be like, yeah, I'm not buying anyone anything. My kids don't get presents. You know, nobody's getting anything. Like, that's not going to happen. So what ends up happening is you pull out a credit card, right? The car breaks down. You need to fix it. You pull out a credit card, right? If you have a real budget, you don't need to rely on a credit card because you have the money set aside.
Nice. It's a good feeling. Good feeling.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Sarah. I think I've really got some food for thought. I'm going to look up those apps. I'm really hoping that the one from the US and the dollars is available in New Zealand, because I'm geeking out about that. It sounds perfect. I can't wait to have a look at it. And I know my husband is going to be over the moon about that idea.
Oh,
he loves that kind of stuff.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, he's going to love you. He's going to think you're the best thing since sliced bread, honestly.
You can have him watch recording. And what's your husband's name again? Ben, you have me to thank. That's all I want to say. Just thank me. I can give you my address. I like flowers.
I got flowers yesterday. Can you see? It was our wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. He's in the good books right now.
Is that in your budget?
Yeah. I think so. Well, there's still money in the account. Does that count? Very cool. Hey, thank you so much for your time and your energy and your enthusiasm. It's really obvious that you're passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
And I know that.
And thanks for having me. And I will let me just give you a link if people want to.
Yeah. What can we? How can people connect with you? What do you think would be a next step for them to, if they want to find out more and delve a bit deeper for their business cash flow and their business planning around money?
They should just join Deb and my new Facebook group.
Fantastic.
That's where I'm spending all my time. I put a link in there.
Great. Yep.
And I'm spending a lot of time there. So just ask any questions. I can answer them.
Thanks.
I'll make sure I put that as a question so it comes up on our.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Does it come up on there? Have I done it right? Oh, there it is.
Perfect.
So who have we got next week, Fiona?
So coming up next week, we have Stephanie Crawford from Business Headspace. Now, Stephanie built her business up to the point that she sold it because she was been working on it for many, many years, but she realized that she really liked working strategically in terms of business coaching with people. And so she is someone I've known for a couple of years. I did some work for her her past business. She had a bookkeeping business called Jada. And she started business Headspace beginning of last year. So she's going to be talking to us about how she's got her business ready for sale. So those of you who have a long-term strategy about selling your business, or even selling part of your business, because she's still doing an element of what she did before, but she's doing it very differently. So listen in next week for Stephanie Crawford from Business Headspace.
Not me. I'm never selling my business. They're going to have to rip it out of my cold.
That'll be on your headstone, right? It's still mine.
Oh, yeah. I changed my Twitter. I'll put it in there for you guys. Well, keep talking.
Cool. So that's us for today. Thank you for joining into our Business Made Easy show. It's every Wednesday, New Zealand time at 10 a.m. I think it's on the east coast of the States at 4 p.m. On the west coast, it's at 1 p.m. And I believe over in the UK, Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 8 p.m. in the evening. Let me know if I've got that right, Jonathan. I think that's kind of where it is.
I think it's 10 o'clock at night. Just come.
Is it 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So, listen in. The replay will be available for those who want to go back and just take some notes for themselves. Invite you to join us every week. I love sharing knowledge. I love learning new stuff. And if you've got questions, invite you to pop across to our Facebook group. And I will just send that. Where are we? Facebook group, Business Made Easy. And it's a private group where we share lots of awesome info that we from here. Just
and if anyone has questions for me, I'm also in that group, so feel free to tag me, and I'm happy to answer anything.
Yeah. So as Sarah said, that all of our experts belong to that group, and so you can ask questions in there. And I wish you all a fantastic day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Liz, do you have any, I've got some great tips here. I'm going to be looking at those apps for categorizing and looking at planning my money better. That's something I really need to improve on. Liz, is anything from you that you've got from today you're going to action?
It's that whole payment in advance thing. That's a real big one, and invoicing on time to enable that to happen and things. So yeah, that's a real key thing that I've taken away from today for sure. Thank you very much.
I think we all need to shout kind of, show me the money. That's kind of what the show was about, really, wasn't it?
Right. I mean, like, again, we're not, if we were, multi-million-dollar companies, it would be a whole different discussion, but we're not.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
You can't afford the risk. You can't absorb that risk. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
That's very true. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you, Liz. And I'll see everybody same time next week. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, join us over at our Facebook group and we'll cover off your questions for the next 15 minutes.
Bye. Nice to meet you, Liz. Bye, Fiona.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.